You're listening to the New York Said Podcast.
Fear not, my friends. This will be my greatest performance.
Give it to me.
Here we go. We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
They're like, yo, let's get it right.
Oh yeah, out here.
I'm on Albany Street.
Was it far?
No, it's like a 5-10 minute walk, so we good.
Okay.
But I just want to make sure I don't run it. I'll be in there 6:30. Even if I pull my car out, we still talk.
Like
You know what I mean? Yo,
like 6:59, like, yo, I'm out, bro.
I'm out. Because they the type, 701?
Yeah.
We got to have to charge you extra 30.
Yeah, that's New York. It's like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
old
trying to get you.
that old joke that Richard Pryor said. He said, people say that money talks, but all I ever hear it say is goodbye.
Goodbye. Yo,
Yeah.
yo.
First up, I just want to congratulate you on the new project.
Thank you.
I literally been listening to it all day because it would just be rude not to, knowing that I'm going to have a conversation with you.
Thanks. By default, yeah.
But yeah, you got to.
By
I mean, like,
default.
what's the point of you showing up and I'm like, so I'm going to ahead and freestyle like I actually listened to it.
Yeah. Appreciate the depth.
So Violet Skies.
Yes, sir.
What's the science behind that? That's the name of the album.
Nice. Yes, Violet Skies. Well, violet is the color of creativity.
Yes.
That's what a lot of people don't really know. When I call it Violet Skies, whatever you pull from, if you believe in an entity, believe in God, you're a spiritual person, you know what I'm saying? Violet Skies represents pulling creativity from whatever element. You know what I'm saying? You think about the skies and you think about them being violet. Metaphorically, that's what it means. But primarily, you know, being a creative person I am, this was about the creatives.
Right.
And that's kind of like what I wanted to represent. So I thought of a way to say it kind of metaphorically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to literal.
No, it sounds cinematic. Let's walk over this side. I'm trying to get some wind.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
It sounds very, very cinematic. Like the project just opens up with the orchestration, and it's
Right.
like pulling you in almost to like a film. Was that the effect that you were looking for?
That is, especially being like a director now. A lot of my videos, like Embrace the Rain, which is the last album we spoke about,
Yep.
and all these things that I've won a couple of awards.
Yeah.
I've directed a lot of those videos.
Okay.
So I kind of come with my music with the same type of approach.
Yeah.
Like when I do albums, when I do a project, I'm like, Spike Lee is looking at, he's like, yo, I got this whole thing. So I want people to see what I'm seeing. When I'm freestyling or I'm writing a verse for somebody else or I'm doing it, that's nothing. But when
Right.
it comes to this, very visual, very much like a director would approach a film.
Open up the skies with every phrase. Trying to scale back my worldly ways. Another day, another masquerade. Cause the skies are violet, the skies are violet. Open up the skies and feel the rays. Mask off and now we turn the page. Creativity gets me paid. Cause the skies are violet, the skies are violet. A walk in the pandemic with Dr. Fauci. A turn for the worse inside a violet Audi. The one single corner is starting to screen. Signs of small biz test COVID-19. An ATM crash, a stylish mask. A woman named Storm projecting my forecast. And USA try to take my unemployment. Give me 6 feet, fam, I am anointed. They come close, we push them away. The body is a host, that homie should stay. It's a real life, I am legend. Streets no joke, need heart like Kevin. Left the beaches alone, started teaching from home. To each is his own, crow reaches the tone. Count down the days, I'm the Sphinx. The matrix and the money in the moment always meets.
And so what's been like the biggest challenge you're creating? Like how long did it take to create the album? And what has been some of the challenges that you had to overcome between this project and the last one?
Man, that's a good question. You know, comes out on March 7th, you know, which
That's
is
your
my
birthday.
birthday. Yeah. The number 7. And I can pity people. Come on in,
right.
You know, but it's a long time coming. It's a 3-volume series.
Okay.
And the challenges I face, because I have a bunch of new producers on the album. I work with my partner Symphony.
Yeah.
I work with this guy Crow, who's really, really, really great. You know, and you know he's from Serbia. You know, there's
Serbia?
Yeah.
How'd you guys connect?
Yeah. We connected online.
Okay.
There's so many different people on the project. You have JL Day Music. He returns from my last project.
Yep.
DJ King Flo, who is from Paris, France.
Yes.
He produced on a project as well. Produced a song called French Stimulus.
I know we're just jumping around, but how do you take all these various producers to create one collective
Cohesive,
sound?
yeah.
So cohesive. 'Cause
Yeah. I
it
think
sounds
that's
like it's a whole bunch of different guys. It sounds like it's one.
Yeah.
Everybody's moving as a unit.
And that's kind of the way I do it. I think I'm kind of underrated sonically. I'm kind of like a producer in my own way because
Okay.
I know how to take songs and instrumentals and match them up, no matter who they are. And I'm very meticulous when I'm putting together a project, what tracks I'm utilizing and what I'm not, what I'm leaving out. There's songs that'll just pile up, then it's like, that ain't gonna fit. Everything's a puzzle. Even the features, which have Master Ace.
Yeah, that was dope, because I'm a huge Master Ace fan.
Oh, nice. Yeah, see?
Yeah, like,
I got real,
you got me in. I was like, oh, you got Master Ace. So
Master Ace.
Wasn't surprised, but I'm glad that, and that's a dedication too.
Yeah. It's dedicated to all those that got a craft they love. You know what I'm saying? And they do whatever for it. Yeah. What up, Buddha? Nostra.
Yeah, what you witnessing is dedication to a craft that allowed me to rise like levitation. I rose above the doubts and the hesitation. I chose to be around for its preservation. Keeping it alive, no ventilator. Bringing the light to your life, no generator. And like an innovator, I'm improving the culture. Understand what I'm doing is moving the culture in the right direction. No boy band. And it's good for you like a no soy brand. And like that toy brand, this is what I has, bro. Got dudes still tripping off the last flow. And when the cash go, y'all can't survive. I shine bright enough to keep the plants alive. That's why the song is dedicated to everything we love and we celebrate it.
And if it wasn't for the mic, I'm dedicated. And if I couldn't leave it right, I'm dedicated. One more show, one more night, I'm dedicated. Without my craft, I don't think I would have made it.
Check, love. I'm dedicated. You can check my past the Mac, counting cheese, mastering my craft. In fact, nobody's smiling. I barely like to laugh. Factor out the trash. Black bags can handle that. Spitting with legends, motivated me. Took some lessons. The beat is captivating. What they say and be respected. Hope the kids catch on. Come march, pedestrian. Martin, we all kings. Dream of the quest we on. I'm always fighting. I'm LeBron during the virus. Challenge is private. I'm Jordan. Who's the nicest? Always think better than we rookies. Lead with veterans. Move silent and smarter when they don't know the residents.
And if it wasn't for the mic, I'm dedicated. And if I couldn't leave it right, I'm dedicated. One more show, one more night, I'm dedicated. Without my craft, I don't think I would have made it. Yeah. One with the instruments, locked in my room. All I had was sentiments, locked in tune. Escape from the mayhem, find beats and play them. The spirit is one, hip-hop say amen. Sharpshooter like Mello, please don't sub me. My fan played the bench, I wrote, stayed hungry. Outrageous, contagious vibes, I'm A-list. Being alone made Nostra courageous. Thought I was cornball, but really was Warhol. I was so far gone, me and my road dogs. They say that the devil was living in the fog, but I found refuge in my music catalog.
This craft my path to escapism. Math and paragraph display wisdom. Rhythm in them synonymous with the vision of the goats. Quotes I wrote. Dedication hopes to invoke. Reminiscing the wind, the fist in the air. For the system it be rare. Fighting gems they be hidden in concrete. We deep as the prism. The point is tribulation through tribulation. Anoint listen. Her infinite powers made us proudest. Helping oppressed people when a storm showers. Loud as alarm, fear of the black planet of ours. America's most wanted, but you the cowards. Raheem and his radio, a metaphor to the dreams of a young teen brought up in the 80s, yo. My native tongue travel above like the dove does. Common sense, her forever, we will love.
And if it wasn't for the mic, I'm dedicated. And if I couldn't leave it right, I'm dedicated. One more show, one more night, I'm dedicated. Without my craft, I don't think I would have made it. Without my craft, I don't think I would have made it.
50 years of hip hop. And that song has also Tamel, who's the God Rakim's son.
Yep. Oh shit, I didn't know that one.
And then you got Rex on there, who's a pretty well-respected Massachusetts MC, came up under Static Selector, and a few other people.
So and you got Shay Noir.
Shay Noir, yeah, she's on Plaga. Shay is very much in depth. She's from Buffalo. She's like one of my favorite lyricists in the game right now.
Yeah.
Woman, I don't care, lyricist.
Yeah.
As an MC.
Absolutely.
And you know,
She shouted out Special on that.
Yeah, 38 Special put her on, and you know, and the song is just two MCs with depth and lines going at it. But I wanted to make the song uplifting because if you listen to both of our lyrics, it's about black excellence.
Yeah, and then even her, when she was like, people acting like I can't do this.
Yeah.
You know, like
She
they
came hard on that track.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
And then you opened it up with like, if I can recall, it was like creating vibes like Egyptians created condoms.
Yeah.
So I was like, first I thought you said gypsies. I was like, were gypsies created condoms?
No. No, it was definitely.
Then I Googled it and I was like, oh,
And they
Egyptians, 11,000 BC. Okay, got it.
And that's true.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You did your research.
Yeah.
I just want you to, as a fact checker,
Yeah.
that's true.
It's either 11,000 or 1,000, but I did look it up.
Yeah.
And I was like, but again, like, that's what you want from music or just art in general. You want it to evoke something. And even if it evokes you to go be curious and go down the rabbit hole, that is something where you're just not like listening in autopilot.
Yeah. I appreciate you, Amar, for that.
Yeah.
'Cause shout out to New York State and all the great journalists up on the board.
Stop being lazy.
Stop being lazy. Mentally.
Listen to the damn
Don't
album.
be a slave. Yeah, exactly. But you do, and that's so true. And the question was, what were the challenges? And I would say for this album, I got a bunch of new producers and a lot of new features. And I think the challenges were keeping up with studio time, keeping scheduling, and getting everybody on point to where, you're going to do that feature?
Right.
Do that feature?
Yeah.
Come on. I would say some of those songs were like, not recorded, but set up during the pandemic time.
No, you can hear that.
Yeah.
Especially the opening verse for Violet Skies. It touches a lot on the pandemic. Did you feel that it dated the album by saying all that stuff, taking people back to 2020?
Yeah. No, I felt like because we're still going through the COVID thing because COVID never stopped. I don't know about you, but
it's still happening. No, I mean I see it on the bus. Like people still masked up and all that.
Yeah, and it's like a walk through the pandemic with Dr. Fauci. A turn for the worse inside of Violet Audi. I think those are things that are kind of eternal. Because I think there's pre-COVID, and then there's COVID.
Yeah.
After COVID.
I mean, as we
the life
here,
changed.
Yeah,
our
like
whole
as
life.
we stand here at ground zero, that's where we are right
that's
now.
where
like,
we are.
So it's like post 9/11, that's where we are. And now we continue, like, how many atrocities have you endured in your life?
Yeah. How many people have you lost?
Right.
I mean, and when you think about it, I wanted that to be in the album because it represents the present tense because I don't think people just going to get over it. So I feel like...
they're still going through it.
Yeah, they're still going through it. And I also think, like I said, it's pretty much a broad subject, but it's something that is pretty much here to stay, whether you believe in it or not, or whatever. Whether you feel like
and it's constantly evolving.
Yeah, it's a sorry. Yeah, then there's that. The Delta variant. And you got everything else. So I think that is something that mankind dealt with so severely that it's a little bit of an eternal date. You know what I mean? And I can kind of talk about it. And I think most of the rest of the album, you look at everything else, because there were songs like We Up and all these other songs that were more close.
Felt like a throwback. Like, I mean, the first thing I noticed listening to it is to me, it's a headphone album.
Right.
I can listen to it like, oh, you put it on your phone, that's not cool. Put your headphones on, and because it's a lot of boom bap, it's a lot of deep bass.
Yeah.
Done well,
right.
so to speak.
Thank you.
Was you and Whiteout going at it? Because it
Fiery Diary. Yeah.
Because I like his verse. I mean, like when he's going the fuck off.
Yeah, he's going.
Damn, man, I've been doing this a minute now. Both feet forward, you will never see me sitting down now. Full speed ahead, yeah, I'm dipping out. Pedal to the metal, red line, yeah, I'm living now. I think I got it figured out, it's coming into focus. I see the bigger picture now, it doesn't look so hopeless. I'm getting in the rhythm now, I wanna be the dopest. Everything I've written down has gotten me the closest. The happiness I've ever been, but always been an underdog. Never had too many friends, but I don't really want them all. I'm a soccer ball away that I've been kicked around, so I told them not no more, it's time for me to dish it out. And if you can't handle the heat, then stay the hell up at the kitchen. Everything I'm doing now has always been the mission. I just didn't know it right away, but now I know it's true. Cause this is the only thing that I really know how to do.
So I went looking. I was like, "Where's some more? Let me get some more of this stuff." So are you guys going back and forth on that one, or is that like a mutual competition? Like, what's happening?
Well, actually, that song is Fiery Diary is about the underdog.
Yeah.
And no matter who you are, you dealing with it. I think we both were going through emotions on both of our ends because we both are independent artists and coming up and just the struggles of being that.
Yeah.
And I told Whiteout, look, I need you to express that. in this song.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, no problem. And we were together. So there's always a friendly competition.
So you guys were in
artists.
the same studio?
Yeah, yeah.
So this wasn't like send me the file and I'll make it and I'll marry it?
Well, no, with that, I think we did do some of that, but we were together when we put the concept together.
Okay.
And he did some of the writing together and the ideas together. It wasn't like, oh, let me just send you there. It was, no, let's get busy on this right. Because that's the way I do it. Remember, it's a movie.
Yeah.
So everything's cohesive. So me and Whiteout are friends.
Okay.
But, you know, we've done numerous shows. We went on tour together. I met him back in 2014.
Okay, gotcha.
We went on tour together. He's from Albany. I did shows with him and Bone Thugs and Harmony.
He started out like normal, and then he just...
Yeah, then he just turned up. But that's just him.
And I liked it. I was oh shit, you know, like that whole flow is just like...
Yeah. And his flow is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's tough. You know, with me, fortunately, you know, I'm all right.
To step you up. You gotta go, all right, I see what you did there now, let me
do it,
Okay.
But I think both of our verses stand out on their own. I think even though people are gonna always compare, and that's a good thing I want in a song, is I think the way he approached it and the way I approached it were different. And his was complementary to mine. But we were talking about the same thing, and we had the same vibe. You could feel what we're saying.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we both are in the same pocket, and it's dope. You know what I mean? White boy.
Yeah.
And thorough.
Yeah.
One of the most thoroughest. So it just transcends time, transcends race, transcends everything. It's struggle is struggle.
So when you're coming up with a concept, because I don't make music, but I know I have ideas that I want to make tangible.
Fact.
So like when you're coming up with a concept, because I know you have a concept for Violet Skies,
Right.
and everything that falls under that,
Right.
and then how do you choose other songs? Do you like bullet point it and be like, I want to do something about this, or it just comes out naturally and then you make it make sense? I don't know what's your process.
I've always kind of been blessed with this cohesive mind. I don't know where it comes from. It's like when I write, most of this stuff comes together like that, and I realize that that's a blessing because you get a lot of people, especially a lot of rappers, that be going off and they be going all over the place, including some of your most professional top-notch rappers.
Absolutely. Like they just kind of go on a tangent and like...
Yeah, they can't really make an album.
Right.
They're great at rapping, and they're great at freestyling.
Or they can make a single.
They can make a single for sure. But a whole album is like, it's long. And to me, when you look at Nas, or you look at somebody else, you got to be theoretical, right? You got to understand this is true writing.
Right.
This isn't just rapping or anything else. It's poetry, emotion. So to get back to the point, is when I put it together, I think mentally I have bullet points in my head. I write some ideas down, but I'm about emotion and feeling. That's what music's about too. You don't want to be a super thinker. My album Sleepwalking, I think I was Brainiac. ESP, I came off the feelings. And Violet Skies, I came upon direction and directorial moves and a combination of the other two put together. So when I look at these things and I think about the bullet points in my head, I do a bunch of songs and I start to piece them together. You know, okay, how is this from top to bottom? And nobody's really kind of a lost art. You know, Tribe, Midnight Marauders, and Nas, Illmatic, and all these albums where you have
The Love Below.
I'm inspired by jazz, The Love Below. You know, Andre 3000. Like, you know, this is what I love, and to me that's music. When you make it and it gives you the chance to tell your story.
Yes.
Right. So my thing is like, okay, how do I do it? Is, you know, one of the processes is I come up with the songs, but I'll keep going until it fits. The other ones are just sitting on the side burner. Maybe I'll use that for a soundtrack. Maybe I'll send that to somewhere else. You know what I mean? And I'll freestyle just to get out what I'm feeling. But overall, I usually know mentally where I want to go with it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's a gift. That's one of my gifts because a lot of people are all over the place. Like when I sent the track to Ace, Master Ace, I'm gonna do a little humble brag here.
Got to.
I sent him dedication.
Yeah.
And when I sent him dedication, you know, that wasn't in the studio, but we talked about it. And I have met him more than a couple of times, a few shows, open and worked with him a couple of times. And he was like, I was like, look, there's nobody that really describes the epitome of dedication than Master Ace. You look at Master Ace's career.
Yeah.
He, I love Big Daddy Kane. I love Craig G, the whole Juice Crew.
Right.
But when you look at the consistency over time, you look at Master Ace, special. Because he's put out album after up into Marco Polo and him putting out a recent album, which is the Brooklyn Story.
Yeah.
He's continued to put out cohesive bodies of work that have been relevant.
Right. Even when he was like with Born to Roll.
Yeah, Born to Roll.
and
All that.
Take a look
Slow the House.
around. All
yeah,
that. Yeah.
right. All of that. So that type of consistency you can't pay for. So my thing is dedication. My songs are authentic. That is, he got to get on there. I felt that way. I didn't know if he was gonna go for it. He was like, look, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? But if you send me the beat, send me the production and the idea, and I sent it to him, and thank God he liked it. And it took him a minute, not too long. He wrote the verse. It was so whatever that I said to him, this is the humble brag. I said, look, wow, Ace, you came with that verse kind of quick. He says, I'm gonna be honest, I usually don't write that quick. People send me tracks and they're all over the place. And usually I gotta fill in the blanks for cats.
Got you.
I gotta do this, I gotta do that. You guys made it easy for me. Me and Tamel were on the record.
Yeah.
You guys made it easy for me because you had the concept, you had the idea. Salute to you on that.
Gotcha.
It made it fall. It basically, a writer described it already as the features on the album are like neatly fitted puzzle pieces.
Okay.
And that was his words, not mine.
Yeah.
And I'm using it now like, yo, that was some dope stuff. Because I didn't, you see, you need some help. He eloquently put it like that.
I mean, coming from Master Ace, it's just like, okay, we're doing something right. And then for the future, we can keep doing it this way.
Right.
Especially when you're asking for features or designing features. Like, make it easy for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll show up, but you got to show up too. You just can't ask and
show out.
Right.
Yeah. So that being said, the palette was already there. And I just needed him to put the art on it.
So speaking of art,
you
had MEAS7.
Yeah, MEAS7.
Yeah, so that is straight up.
Yes. So the video picture frames shows him making the mural. I have a video. I have 2 videos off the project already.
Yeah.
One is called Picture Frames. In Picture Frames, you will travel with the MEAS7 through Indonesia and you watch him make the whole mural.
Crazy.
Straight from scratch. That's wild style graffiti.
Yeah.
Straight up wild style. Amazing, kill it. One of the best things I've ever done. This cover
Are you making
art.
stickers? Are you making stickers?
Yeah. I got the Jakarta hoodies.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Where they got the name of mine. I got stickers. I'm coming with a whole full ensemble of merch. I already have some. I have all hoodies of all color. JahanNostra.com. Jahan Nostra Instagram. You can go to my shop. I have what I call the Jakarta hoodie, and it comes in white, comes in black, comes in yellow, and it's basically the font, the same graffiti from that wall is on the hoodie. It says
that's what it looks like. It just looks like a phenomenal, like, I was just in Medellin last week, and that wild style is still very much alive out there. And so, like, that's the first thing that came to mind. Because, I mean, out here you see a lot of, like, traditional tags and people getting up in street art. And every now and again, if you go to like First Street Park or what have you, you'll see those wild styles. I mean, there's other
throwback.
parts.
It's like a throwback.
So to see that, like that crazy. I mean, and if you go to the Bronx, you definitely see a lot of wild style.
You will.
But I just wanted to say, like, it was really refreshing to see it so well.
Right.
So how do you get that done? Like, how do you ask? How do you request? Like, you know, you got the vision and saying, hey, this is what I have in mind. How'd that happen?
Great. I was in the pandemic again. I started, ESP went viral again. It like had a new life. And this is why y'all never give up on your albums. That album came out in 2016.
Yeah.
During the pandemic.
When you say don't give up on your albums, what does that mean?
Meaning that, I won't say that give up, like you could think the album's great, this and that, but what I'm saying is keep pressing your material. Because what happened is in 2020, during the pandemic, when everybody sat their ass down.
Yeah.
My album was already good. I already did well for starting week, everything, so pretty well, all that.
Yeah, as an independent.
Yeah, as an independent, very well. But then it got this second online life. All of my videos, I got 1 million hits from this guy named Yuya in Japan, who basically took my song Welcome Home, no payment, no nothing.
Right.
He took my song and did freestyle basketball moves to it. This kid's 16.
Shit. Wow.
I'll show you, it's on my page. 1 million views. Went viral, blew me up, blew the song up. Then my song Embrace the Rain, the video started to get more, and all of a sudden, I had this.
How appropriate is that song, audience. Embrace the Rain, during the pandemic? It's like you need an outlet, you need some hope, you know.
Yes. Exactly, and if you don't got it, you know it's a problem.
Right.
So that started to connect me universally a lot.
Okay.
I've been out of the country. I performed in Montreal. There's places, I got my passport. We good.
Yeah, we good.
And, so unfortunately, so I'm one of those artists. But they really started to embrace me. The hip hop is universal, man. And we connected with Mia 7 because he started to like a lot of the stuff, and I have a big fan base in Indonesia,
Right.
Jakarta particularly.
Yeah.
You know, and I wear Inshallah clothing, which is a big brand.
Yeah.
A lot of majority Muslim country there.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different things. So people really starting to embrace the music, and somehow we met him, and I saw him, and he was just phenomenal.
Just getting busy. You saw him while he was getting up?
He was getting up doing his thing. I
Wow.
want to say he might have did something to my joint.
Yeah.
Took a song and maybe did something.
Okay.
Something connected us to where I saw his style and he saw mine.
Okay, gotcha.
And it was all on the music. And he was like, yo, I'm a supporter of yours, a fan. I love your joint.
Yeah.
Your music particularly. You know, I'm just letting you know, I'm here, whatever. Happened organically. Next thing you know, it was like, hey, I do this and that. And first I looked at him. He's done work for Pringles. He's done work for...
Oh, no, he gets busy.
Yeah, he
no,
gets busy.
Yeah, he got...
So then I was like, okay, I got to do this. Now, it was, of course, it's a business, but
Yeah.
I'm sure I wasn't hit like everyone else was hit.
Right.
Because he wanted to really loved the music. And I said, I already had the concept, that.
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, look, this is the concept. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah.
How your idea goes. I want this universal. If you look at the front and the colors he uses, it actually is Jahan Nostra, and in the middle is the Violet Skies.
Yes.
You know
I
what
saw
I'm saying?
that.
You do see it. Well, a lot of people can't make it out. They can't read the Wild Style.
No, I can read the Wild
Back
Style.
there,
I
yeah,
live
I can
it.
tell you
I mean,
could. Yeah.
like that's all I do.
Well, I thank you, Ma. Once
Yeah, no,
again,
I can
shout out
read-
to New York Set.
No, I mean-
because people come like, oh yeah, I see
No,
it
I'm not
now.
that person.
I see it now.
No, they looking at it like it's one of those like magic things, but they gotta like put it to their face and move it all the way back like this. No, but
Yeah. It's great.
I saw the Violet Skies first,
Yeah.
and then I was like, his name better be in here somewhere. And then
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw it.
Yeah,
You know what
okay,
I mean? So I
gotcha,
understood
gotcha.
it. I just had to I saw it, and it's
Right.
good because the name of the album and then you.
You,
which is-
yeah.
So that's
Right.
really cool.
Right. I always want the pieces to be bigger than me.
Yeah.
If I can, but I still, come on, you got to market. You got to have your name attached to it.
But it's so dope that it looks like it's in the background and then
Yeah.
it's there. So you have to look and you have to read it.
Really, yeah, to make it exactly. It's
Yeah.
almost like a code.
Yes.
It's almost like it's
And that's
coded.
what Wild Style is. You know, it's a fucking code.
Yeah. Dude is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. But as because again, as I'm listening to the album, I'm not just listening, I'm like doing research. And so I ended up on Shay North's page.
Nice.
And she's talking about the thing that she learned about being an independent artist was that you don't have to be signed, you don't have to chart, to be a success. So you having a fan base in several countries and going all around and how people take all these analytics and quantify them into your success.
Yes.
They more than likely have no idea what your success really looks like because the
not
rabbit
at all.
hole goes deeper than Instagram or any other thing that you may
Yep.
show or not show.
Definitely.
Can you talk about that experience?
Definitely. You got to engage people. That's what I did in 2020, 2021. We did, me and the team. We really, I'm kind of a universal guy. So I'm always, hey, how you doing?
Same.
I'm an independent guy. Yeah, we walking through it's like, being in New York.
My whole thing is if you show respect, I show respect.
Show
I
respect.
care less
Exactly.
what your nationalities,
Yeah.
I don't. But if you show it, love is love.
Yeah.
So that's exactly how I move, especially overseas.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
you don't know
respect
where
is
you
big.
at.
Yeah, you don't
And
know.
it takes a lot of
And you never
intelligence,
know.
an intelligent man
Yeah.
to be able to navigate through the system of the outside world. I'm a traveler.
Same.
I'm an open person to new lifestyles. And that's really what Violet Skies also represent, the cover. Because the reason I got him, rather than somebody just writing New York or anywhere else, is because it's a universal theme.
Right.
So on Instagram, the ability to talk to these people, I love people that love me. So when I saw people that were engaging with me, I knew I had to pay attention. And I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do with this person or that person to make them engage with my art? So you got freestylers, skateboarders,
Right.
graffiti artists that like my music, love my music. They wanna do stuff. Go ahead, take it.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
This is art. This is why Violet Skies is for the creatives.
It's
because
a collaboration
it's a
with whoever
collaboration.
wants to participate.
Whoever wants to participate. We don't own it. It's once you put it out there, it's for the universe to decide. Now, with that type of mentality, instead of hoarding it,
Right,
being
right.
greedy or whatever, It allowed me to engage with all of these great people, man, great creatives. Listen, I can't pull a paintbrush if you pay. I just can't. Time to talk about my weaknesses, but I'm an artist to the 112%.
Right.
So how can I collaborate with someone who I think is so awesome? I think Mia 7 is awesome. I think Yuya, the basketball stylist who does his thing with the ball, he's awesome. You know, I connected with all these influencers, all these people with brands and ideas, and I just so happens that the quality I put in my music, never give up on your album, because I have plenty of albums. I have more than ESP, but when I say that, I'm talking about the time. It shows that great music lasts.
Yep.
Because you can come out with something for you. ESP, I tell you, I put it out in 2016. It did very well in 17, 18, all that. It blew up in 2020.
Wow.
It blew up in 2020.
And so what does blow up mean to you?
And today it means,
like, what does that look
when
like?
you get
for
a
someone
million,
that's listening to you?
for today, you know, back in the days it was a platinum album.
Right.
Today it's 1 million views on
Okay.
Instagram. That's
Yeah.
not a regular thing.
Yeah.
If you get 1 million hits, you now get an audience to engage you, even if it is a click away. So maybe we might not make that much money off of the sales like we used to. Maybe you will, because some of them going to buy. You condition your fans, some of them are going to buy.
Yeah.
But you also, streams and all that allow you to do shows,
Right.
allows you to be seen, and most importantly, music lives with you. If they take it and make the music a part of them, you live forever.
It becomes their routine, part of their routine.
Their routine, yeah. Now you can use it to monetize other things.
Okay, yes.
Yourself, your trip, your ideas. Oh, let's talk about this. Yeah, that's what it's about. Look, stop flipping about. And then you could get a vinyl on there and get paid. Vinyl's still selling.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm going to make. You know, I imagine that Violet Skies on a vinyl.
That's gonna be crazy.
Well, it's going to be crazy. And I'm selling
Are you
that,
gonna
and
make
I'ma do a release.
violet vinyl?
Yeah, exactly. Definitely.
This makes sense.
The actual everything's violet. I got the shirts, the
Yeah,
hoodies.
yeah.
You know, I wore it at my big concert. I did a show with T.I.
Yep.
It was me and T.I. and my partner Oliver Groove. And basically, you know, I wore the violet Jahan Nostra. I got the violet one. It's Violet Skies for the album cover. I'm all about it. But then also that I'm still repping the brand of creativity.
Yeah.
So back to the fact check of the social media handles. You got to be on all those things. But the key now is to engage them and you have to be an individual. See, it works for me because I never try to copycat nobody else.
Right.
If you yourself, or you could be independent.
Yeah.
You just got to put it out there as who you are, and then you got more of a chance to let it fly. You got to do a little bit of ads. You got to put a little bit of money into YouTube. You got to be able to put it out there. but you
ROI.
gotta Put it to ROI. But put it to the right audience. You
Yeah,
put
let's
it to
get
the
over
right-
here.
Yeah, let's move it. They getting crazy. They're going
Oh,
crazy.
they enjoying themselves.
You put it to the right audience, and we good to go. New York said, baby, we here. We at ground zero. You know what I mean? So I loved it, man. We did a lot of great stuff. There was a lot of good stuff, ads and a lot of infomercials and stuff like that.
So when it comes to, you know, you say you opened up and worked with and done shows with so many people, how does that even happen? Is that your manager? Is that you reaching out? Is like, how's that? Because I know that's not easy. It's definitely not magic. And I mean, and I also wanted to
just did a show with Ludacris.
I also wanted to say, like, you know, getting 1 million views, especially with the algorithm working against you if you don't pay to play,
Yeah.
it's something like, word, you got that all organically. That means like the people are really rocking with you.
Yeah.
Because it's real easy to just drop like 50 grand and get 1 million.
Yeah.
Or whatever the number is. I'm just throwing numbers out there.
Yeah.
But, you know, oh, look, we're sitting in front of Spotify.
So,
How
yeah, which
appropriate.
I performed here.
Oh, you did?
I did perform at Spotify. Shout out to Summer, a good friend of mine. Yep, I did perform in here when it first, back in 2016.
So talk about relationships and how you got these, like, how you got to perform at Spotify and do these concerts and all that stuff.
Yeah. You know, well, I have a great team, you know what I'm saying, that also works with me, and we pitch, okay? There's something called applying, ladies and gentlemen. You can look at a show or venue, and you may not get it. I was turned down from specific venues 5 years in a row.
Right.
Until the 6th year I got it, and that's a true story.
Okay.
Now, when I say apply, there's an application, there's an online process. A lot of people it's too tedious for them, I guess. They don't want to sit there and do these things. Now, I started off on an independent label at 14 years old, important to note. So it's not magic. I fell on my butt a couple times to understand, okay, this is what promotions looks like. This is what venues look like. I don't always do that. I work with promoters as well. Saves a lot of time, a lot of energy, but then you got a lot of janky promoters too.
Right.
So I'll say this, how do you do it? Well, you got to reach out to the venues. You know, you have to apply. A lot of things, especially festivals, there's actual applications.
Okay.
You can apply to perform.
And then they look at like your whole portfolio.
They look at your whole portfolio because, like me, I've opened for Let's Get Busy. I've opened for Del the Funky Homo Sapien, J. Cole, Razzcast, Outkast, a slew of people. But that came from, you can't just apply, you got to work, obviously. But how did that happen? Well, it happened because when I came up, I was on the, I've been doing music, since the 90s, late 90s. So you look at it, it's like, I was freestyling, I was going to places, like EO Dub here in New York City. I was just following my dream. So you're gonna meet somebody, then meet somebody, then meet somebody all the time.
Okay, gotcha. It just leads to things.
And it leads to things. And a lot of that led to me being able to do, I started off with open mics.
Yeah.
I didn't just jump into doing festivals with Ludacris or live shows with T.I.
I can attest to that because I got 2 really dope interviews, and it was through your team and you, which was Blase Blah.
Nice.
Exactly. Your team hit me up and was like, would you be interested? And I was like, fuck yes. Yeah.
When the East is in the house.
Oh my God. And then I got Al Scratch. Al Scratch. Yeah.
I just had a show with him a couple
weeks ago. And those are like 2 of my favorite, because we just sat down and do what we're doing right now.
Yeah, chopping it up.
And so like a lot of times, like, these people still have lives. Like, they may not be in your face, but they're still touring. They're still very much relevant. Yeah. They may not be here with the younger folks or whatever. But it doesn't mean that they don't exist.
No, exactly.
But to be able to hear their stories, their take on things.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of platforms are beginning to jump on that wave, and that's fine. But to me, it's not a wave. To me, it's just kind of like, my whole objective is just to preserve the culture and these voices. And so, like, essence. I feel like, this is our second conversation for the show. But years from now, when you're in your 80s and people want to know, or your extended family or what have you, they have these pieces that they can go, oh, here's a thorough piece that Jahan had with New York Set or whatever.
Right. No, definitely. And I appreciate that because you're a historian, Ahmad. And, we all are in our own ways. Look, 50 years of hip hop. I've been going to the Photographica. They have an exhibit at Photographica, which is sponsored by Master Pill.
Yep.
Yeah, and I've been going around there, and 50 years of hip hop. So, Violent Skies came out same year, 50 years of hip hop. Is that coincidental?
Paved the way. No.
Yeah, and you look at it, it's like and there is a lane for that, teaching and everything, because these kids don't know about hip hop. Not the kids. I'm not even referring to them, but older, just people in general that don't know about the culture.
Right. And how the depth of it, and all parties that are part of it.
Right.
Because it's deeper than just like the MC and music.
You got the graffiti, you got the b-boy artists, you got the...
But then you got the traditionals, but then you have like the photographers, the documentarians, even the reason why Master Pill, even the journalists.
Yeah.
And then like people like Say Adams, who did the graphics, one of the many who did the graphics. So like this whole ecosystem where everybody's beginning to share their story of the part that they played.
Movie directors like from Wild Style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
Which we talk. There's a movie called Wild Style.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, there's people can eat. People can eat, and I think it's dope that we can tell our stories, and people can tell the stories from a factual standpoint and get all the stuff together. If you look at the exhibit, they got some great art in there.
Yeah,
some
that
great,
Beckman, all that.
Yeah. I see Master Ace in there. I'm like, what the? I see like the whole Juice Crew. Then they got you saw that.
I love that shit. Like I said, like I used to have the Born to Roll vinyl record on my door. Like on my wall, like with a thumbtack. And I remember that it was like see-through green. You know what I'm saying? Like it was. And then we'd be like Brainiac Dum Dums that had the super bass lines. Like, it's all about that.
Man.
So this is probably a loaded question. I have just a few more questions. It's probably a loaded question, but like when someone listens to this latest piece of art that you've created, is there something you want them to take away from it, or do you want them to interpret it how they find it? Like, what?
I like everybody to have their own interpretation, but the vibe that I was feeling was just be you and be creative, man. This is for the creatives and for the people. Yeah. I think inspiration is lacking. You want some inspiration? Listen to Huge.
Okay.
Track 5.
Catch a wave, it's positive energy. And violet is the color of creativity. We out that quarantine, baby, so let it go. New lives to save with the nose flow. Catch a wave of positive energy. And violet sir, no E-pills. Up in Queens with Zeus and T-Reels. And I'm cut from that kente, again to a sensei. I do what my pen say, a king writes in midday. It's the watch for me, clocking in on the Apple Face ID. Positive energy, and violet is the color of creativity. We out that quarantine, baby, so let it go. New lives to save with the nose flow. Catch a wave, it's positive energy, and violet is the color of creativity. I'm just a kid from the stoop, push a higher you. Grand rising, companies is downsizing, but you could do it yourself if you's a real lion. It's like a jungle sometime, 20 MCs in a line. Info and tech in its prime, Nostra is one of a kind. Musical chairs, the tables always turn. My people's under the stairs, fighting for ways to earn. R.I.P. to Shot G, Biz Markie, COVID-19, give me 6 feet.
You got to be able to persevere as a creative. I'm fighting for the creatives, you know what I'm saying? I was a creative. I didn't always follow the trend.
No.
I didn't always follow, but that same thing is what's got me the success. So nothing wrong with that, man, and just do what you love.
So have you ever tried, like, yo, let me see if Jahan Nostra can be on a drill beat? Like, have you tried it out and then was like, I tried it and then they put it in the archive? Or like, do you try other flows and styles?
Yeah, I do. The second volume.
Okay, gotcha.
This is the essence.
Okay, yeah.
I love this. It's
go
good
for
segue.
it. Go for it.
The second album has a lot of Afro beats.
Okay.
Mixed with essence, and then you have a lot of, I don't like to even use these terms, but like it's quote unquote radio, super radio. There's some on this first one, sort of. We Up, and I think Bond Number 7 is a pretty good one. That's the second track.
Okay.
With Finn, I think that song.
When she's singing.
Yeah. That one is very. I think I could hear it on radio crossing over. It's real R&B-ish.
I felt like We Up felt like a driving. Like
yeah, We Up is definitely one. That's the big one. That's
driving,
like a driving anthem.
Yeah.
Kind of an anthem track for sure.
Definitely
We Up.
a warmer, release when it's hot as shit outside.
Yeah, and feel good.
Yeah.
West Coast too.
Yeah,
I feel like that's bumping Cali.
I felt Miami. Like
okay,
it felt like Ocean Avenue.
That'll go too. Yeah, that'll go too.
But I mean, it felt like just a good I can see like bright colors.
You see me fly. Yeah. Am I brand new?
We Up. It felt like been struggling all this damn time, and I finally am harvesting all the work that I put in. This, I planted the seed so many years ago. Yeah. Now I can get to eat the fruit. Because you don't eat the fruit the same day you plant the seed.
Yeah. And that's very true. And that is where I'm at with it. Because I'm not always Essence Boo, but I have gained a certain amount of success. So that song does fit that. Now the second one has even more of that. It's more of that as opposed to anything. Remember, we were coming out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
There were so many things. The second one, I got I got 2 African artists on it. My man Lamborghini's on it. I have this woman Tabitha who's on it. Then I got a song, man. I don't want to give away too much.
I mean,
but I got another very prominent West Coast legend. We went West Coast.
Yeah. Okay.
But we got another. You probably know who he is. So I'm just gonna let it slide. But I got another Essence, person on it. So I have that one.
Okay.
But the rest of it is a lot of real feel good.
Yeah.
Let's get busy. Afro beats.
Yeah.
Up the tempo right now, but yet still me.
Okay. Essence
on there, and it's not like I'm trying for that.
Right.
Or
it's
trying. It would just happen because I was in the studio. I did, some of these songs were recorded in the Great Platinum Sound.
Wow.
Which is, down here in Manhattan, Jerry Wonder Studio. And I just was in a very good vibe through these past few years, just doing what I love. And the second one is more vibe. It's even more. Not to say this one isn't, because there's a lot on here that does, but also this is for the heads.
Yeah, this is definitely
heads.
The fundamentals, and basically just paying homage to what it is, the foundation of hip hop. 50 years. We back in 50 years.
Back in 50 years. I call the essence.
Yeah.
And that's very true. With a little sprinkled here and there.
Yeah.
But the next one is all. They're gonna be like, yo, Hot 97. Oh, you want to pick this up? Okay, cool. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it for that, but that's what it is. And it's not because, like I said, everything I do is organic. So I don't try to be like, because to me, at least for me, this may not work for everybody else, but I'm going to tell y'all a little secret. Creatives out there, when I try to do something and it's not organic, it don't come out right.
Right.
I don't even try it because it's just not me.
Yeah.
But I went through those stages as a kid. Let me try to. It becomes out mechanical to me.
Yeah, but I feel like that's how you get to know who you are.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
like,
not knocking it.
no, you got to go through it. That's
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
what paying your dues means. Like,
Yeah.
even as a creative, like, my work has evolved over the years.
Right.
But as a person, just my personal, it's all in the situations that I've lived. So, like,
Right.
grew up in Southside Jamaica, Queens, and I ended
Facts.
up living in Mississippi, then Florida,
Right.
then Jersey, then Brooklyn, then
Right.
Manhattan, and now I'm where I'm
All
at. So
around.
it's like, I'm in Staten Island.
Right,
So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm pretty
Wu-Tang.
much, yeah. So like, that's a whole different,
Yeah.
but like, believe it or not, living in Florida and Mississippi prepared me to live in Staten Island.
Yeah. Which is crazy. That's right up here.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but at
yeah.
the same time, it's like, you gotta move. Wherever you're gonna move overseas, whether it's Medellin or Amsterdam or what have you,
Right.
you still gotta have that same headspace if you upstate New York or if you in the Lower East Side.
Right.
So
Agreed.
but I'm saying that to say all these various experiences carve out
Who you are.
who you are, because you know who you are, where you're uncomfortable, when you're failing, when you're
Yeah.
looking dumb, when you're embarrassed, all of a sudden finding your confidence and finding your voice, and because you've been basically putting in all the work.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You got to be you, though. That's
Yeah.
the thing. And what I say that is, what I'm saying is, like, for me, if I see why labels have, I came in a great time because I caught the era of the last few era and the strong years of my life. I caught the era of the internet. So I didn't feel pressured to have to try to make some art that wasn't me. I
Right.
could make the art that I needed to make and say, here's one for y'all, here's a radio one for you,
Yeah.
here's this, here's that, okay? Because I see why back in the days, unfortunately, in the 90s, the OGs, who I learned hella dear from, but what I learned is, yeah, we had a bigger platform, the labels had us out there, and some people were superstars, but they did a lot, they say it makes pressure, to make a diamond, but when you look at it, I think they crushed a lot of the great artists' careers trying to get them to do something that they didn't really want to do. And then they were able to get back with it, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Some did not.
Like, imagine like you having this album, and then here I go, I'm like, Jahan, you gotta do one for the ladies.
Yeah, for ladies, yeah.
Not that you shouldn't,
and
but I'm just
most of the
saying-
people telling you that are people outside the culture.
Yeah, and
That
so
may
it's
not
like,
know
what
nothing
the
about
hell?
what-
But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like you have a concept. There'll be time, like there'll be
Right.
spaces for that. But it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, now do one where you drop some knowledge.
Because the thing
Now-
about marketing.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you do have to. Well, fortunately, funny, bond number 7 is like the ladies.
Yeah, I mean, it's on
But
there.
It was on there, but it wasn't forced.
But it's not overt.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
like
yeah,
all
yeah.
of a sudden, here's the ladies album.
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
Here's the ladies record.
here's the ladies cut.
Here's the jazz
This
record.
is the radio cut. This is,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you have this basically none of the songs
Cohesive.
fit. Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah.
uncohesive. That's a better
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
Just like a whole bunch of broken pieces. It's an album,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like it just doesn't. It does not one piece cohesive. Was basically
And
the best word.
Exactly. It doesn't feel organic either. People are smarter than people think.
Yes,
I mean, people
they don't want to
think-
be spoon-fed. Nothing.
Nah, they can feel it. If it ain't right, that's what cats be walking around. Yo, I ain't feeling that, or that ain't it.
Right.
That is all code word for you're not fooling us.
Right.
Like they could do that, and when you bringing something to some people, man, you don't want to assume they dumb. They're gonna think that you insulting them.
It is.
And then at the top of that, what fans you gonna have? So I got to keep it real with the fans. I got to be able to keep it real with the brand. That's how you get the international love. There's people overseas. Yeah, they want it. You just got to go there. You might have traveled. They kill it over there.
Like again, I was over in Medellin. I had a tour guide take me through. It was called like Numero 13 or something like that.
Yeah.
This guy was the
This
man
is
of
Colombia.
the people.
Yeah,
in Colombia.
Medellin, yeah.
And so he's like
I got a lot.
bumping so much Nas, but like Nas shit that I just was like,
Throwback.
oh yeah, like the B-side.
Yeah, the
like, I'm
B-sides.
like,
Yeah.
oh wow, like
They
he's
love it,
making
right?
me listen to stuff. Or like once I was in Amsterdam, I was in a coffee shop.
Yep,
And they
yep.
was literally playing. I mean, like we're on Wall Street. I'm in a coffee shop. It looked.
Right.
Everybody was suited up.
Yep.
Everybody looked like they was reading their newspapers, and it
Amazing.
just looked like the most sophisticated. It was smoking their bud. It looked so sophisticated, but they was bumping Onyx's second album in its entirety. Like, all we got is us. It's just, I'm like, this is very...
Queens
and my cousin, he's like, yo, they playing that for you, because they know you from Queens. I was like, nah, we walked in on it. And it wasn't like a whole bunch, it was just like the next song, the next song, the next song. I was like, yo,
they love it.
They really are playing Onyx's second album.
Yeah.
Like
inspired.
It's, Sketches of Spain by Miles Davis or something.
Yeah, shout out to DJ King Flow, shout out to Crow, and all the Universal producers that are on the album, y'all.
Incredible.
I didn't get, I got my peoples from around here. I got one from Queensbridge.
Okay, there you
shout
go.
Shout out to Queensbridge. My boy E Major did the Che Noir track. But a lot of it was international producers, and I love that. You know what I mean? Cats ain't ready. Some cats is ready for that. Some cats is like, oh, they can't. Telling you, they love that essence. I like to call my style essence. And even Violet Skies Volume 1, it's essence, but it's essence updated. When I listen to the drum with Che Noir, you hear that thing that was inspired by a Mobb Deep from QU or somebody, but we just upping it with the new sound and our own originality
with your own
involved with
voice.
it. But it does have the boom bap touch, but it also has a lot of creative touches of a lot of things. And a lot of it definitely has to do with a lot of the overseas cats. Shout out to Bogota, Colombia. A lot of fans there too.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff. And I listen to these people, I'm talking to these people, I'm DMing these people, I'm doing things, I am sending files over to some of those places.
Right.
Because it's just, it's only right. And if I can get somebody that can master a sound, then I'm great. By the way, the album is mastered by the Grammy Award-winning Daddy Kev from LA. He's mastered for Kendrick. He's mastered for, Flying Lotus. You know what I'm saying?
So can you talk about the importance of mastering?
Man, listen. Mastering is everything. People talk about Dr. Dre. And they wonder, he is a producer and all that, but Dr. Dre is the master of the sound.
Right.
And at the end of the day, if you could have the best talent, music, ensemble project you ever put together. If it is not mixed and mastered right, it'll sound like...
Yeah, especially through headphones, through everything. Cars,
Yeah, I don't care if you got the Dre beat. I don't care if you got, Bose headphones. It don't matter. It ain't gonna save you if the joint not mixed. And I'm gonna be honest. A lot of independent artists. Let me take the time to talk a little to pop my joint. Y'all need to spend money on your projects because at the end of the day, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy stuff. I want a feature. I want this and that. Make sure your sound is on point.
Stop going halfway.
Yeah, stop going halfway. And I know it's something because we're talking about investment here now. And we don't know what you can have. We don't know what relationship. I've made some very good relationships. That's another, over the time, I've made some very great relationships. Daddy Kev also produced ESP.
Especially when you're back to when you're doing these shows, you're filling out all these you're doing all this paperwork, and then they play your music over the over the venue, and they're like, this sounds like ass because you didn't master it.
You didn't master it. It sounds low. The vocals is all out of tone. Wow. There's a whole... Shout out to my engineer, Chris Serafine, man. He's in Florida.
Okay.
He did a great job on this album. Chris, love you, brother. This dude, it's a science, bro. I'm in the studio with these guys. I don't just be, let me email me. I sat in the studio for ESP every song with him. And I'm watching, this is a science. When we record to when we mix it to when we send it to be mastered. This is a science. Music is a science. It's mathematics.
Right.
The gods... Whatever you want to do. You want to talk about the street, whatever, numbers, mathematics, Rakim, whoever. This is all a science. And I take it as such, you know what I'm saying? And I
you
really
have that
take it
balance
serious.
of art and science.
Exactly.
Like taking the art but utilizing the science to present it properly.
Present it properly, not overdoing it with just science.
Gotcha.
Because that would be cryptic.
There would be no soul.
There'd be no, exactly. Exactly. Now the music's organic, but they bring a lot of the science. They
but it
technicians.
has to be presented.
Yeah, it's got. If it's not presented well, music is about collaboration, and it don't necessarily have to be you and your favorite artist. More of you collaborate. I collaborate with the mix guy. I collaborate with master.
Yep.
I collaborate with promoter. I collaborate with
the journalist,
studio engineer, with the journalist, the great journalist, Queen's journalist.
Yeah, there
you know what I'm saying?
That's fine. Sorry, lady.
Bummer clap. And by the way, a lot of this album was recorded in Jamaica, Queens. Shout out to Zeus Anderson, my engineer.
On Jamaica Ave?
Yep, 150, Jamaica Ave, right over there. Yeah. All the Jamaican spots is all over there.
Yeah. By the library?
Brother Zeus Anderson. Yeah.
Okay, got you. Yeah. That's what, you know who works in that library?
Who?
Take a guess. Ralph McDaniels.
Ralph McDaniels. Yeah.
That's where I record literally the interview that I did with Ralph McDaniels. I did it right there in the library.
That's my brother. Shout to him. I was
yeah.
I was at
Video
for the
Music
graphics with him, celebrating the 50 years of Video Music Box, particularly.
Yeah.
And yeah, Queens is, well, per area. You probably know this, but if not, I'm gonna educate our listeners.
Yeah, go for it.
Queens is the most highly diverse as far as different cultures in the world.
Yes.
Is concentrated in Jackson Heights, Queens.
That's crazy. Because let me tell you something about me. I'm from South Jamaica, Queens, and I don't give a shit about any other neighborhood outside of that.
Right.
Now,
that's us, black folks. No, let me stop.
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, yeah, shout out to the whole Queens and borough.
Right, I love
like,
Queens.
When I'm
Tribe.
I'm like, yo, it's the whole borough. But when I'm in Queens, I'm like, it's Southside, it's this neighborhood, maybe 40, Baisley, kind of a little bit Hollis, okay.
Yeah.
But after that, you start like, what about a story? I'm like, I guess. You guys are good. You know what I'm saying? If I want a Greek sandwich, if I want a gyro or a gyro or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
You guys eat
New
well.
Yorkers are like that. Because I'm from like Mount Vernon, New York.
Yeah.
And then like Stamford, Connecticut, so I'm back and forth. But like what I noticed about hard in the city cats is their neighborhood and that's it.
That's it.
Back in the days on the Boulevard of Linden.
Yes. And I grew up on Linden and Merrick.
Okay,
so it was like specifically that whole,
that area, that vicinity.
But like
Jackson.
when I went upstate, I went to Sullivan County Community College. And so everybody, Mount Vernon was repping. Brooklyn, but I rep Queens all the way.
Yeah, all the way.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool because you're Brooklyn over here. So all the Brooklyn dudes is over here. The Queen, but then we all would collaborate in my Harlem folks. So I got a lot of.
Yeah.
But because you're like you grew up in this, you could just look at somebody and be like, oh, I can see the way he wears his hat. He's from Mount Vernon.
From Mount Vernon. He got the high socks.
Oh, he got the white shirt on. He's from Harlem. You know, at least in the '90s or whatever. So yeah,
such
I get
an interesting separation. But it's still
we're all good.
We're all good.
But then, like, when I go to say, like, Florida, I'm like, yeah, it's South Jamaica, Queens, but it's New York all day.
New York,
Yeah, but then
because you go on and you recognize.
But then it's like, you gotta, like, let all that go because, like, especially when I went to Mississippi, I got humbled. Where I was like, yeah, I'm from, and then I'm like, no, you know what? I need to be a student and learn. Because I was way in over my head, and they're like,
you're a citizen of the world.
I'm now in Mississippi and not New York, and those rules don't apply. Even though hood rules apply, similarly it is done differently.
Yeah. David Banner. I mean, like it's a whole different.
Jackson and all that. I used to go to school in Hattiesburg and then party in Jackson. Wow. But not even party because I used to do spoken word poetry. So they had a spot called like 7, I believe that's what it's called. Okay. You go out there and do open mics and shit, and then we would party in New Orleans. All that. Saul Williams is more like the new school and New Yorican and all that.
Yeah, New Yorican. I performed at New Yorican a couple times.
Yeah,
more
I
than
love
a few
New
times.
Yorican.
I love that.
Yeah.
See, that stuff is close to me.
Right.
Really heavy, even though it's LES, but it's like, for me, that's the places I came up
But LES, what I love about, and still love about LES, is like, yo, as long as you cool, meaning not like you're cool, like as long as you show respect, people are very, like, it's a very inclusive experience. I never felt like
another
an outsider.
very diverse area.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Yeah, LES. Jackson Heights, I just found it out, like Jackson Heights, right there in the borough that you're from, it was the most diverse place. So when you look at Violet Skies, everything is authentic. I recorded it in the most highly populated area of diverse cultures in the world.
Yeah, it comes full circle.
That was purposeful. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I caught those vibes when I'm going outside and I'm seeing the neighborhoods and I'm seeing, you see people from all different cultures, particularly, India, Africa, all these different cultures in one proximity. Vietnamese. There's a Vietnamese spot I go down there and get noodles. Blazing. It's real. The real noodles.
It's funny you say
ain't
that
going to Mecca
because
anymore.
in my building that I grew up with, like, there was every type of person. So, like, when I was a kid, I remember, like, going on the 5th floor and I would eat, like, Jamaican food. And I would just be like, my friend Dwayne, we was playing Nintendo, but his family would be like, since you're here. And then you would eat that food and I would go downstairs and my super, his kids, they were cool. We were the same age, so we go over there and then you eating a different type of food.
Right.
So it was like the whole, not the whole world, but I got a lot of diversity and I got to learn, not knowing as a kid. And then you go to other places and you're like, is he black or it's white? And you're like, damn, what the hell?
Dense. I'll be going to Famous Fish after this.
Word.
In Harlem, 125. Just stop by on the way back. Just boom, 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 boom. Yeah, definitely. But that universal part of it, shout to Zeus Anderson, who's from Queens. E Major, who produced on my album, he's from Queens.
Okay, dope.
He's from Queensbridge. So we got the vibes.
The last question I want to ask you is the question I asked you last time. Out of all these experiences, professional, personal, what has been the most important lesson you've learned so far? Just in your life. Like, you can include maybe the album, but what have you learned? Like, what is top of mind today that has been the most important lesson that you've learned so far?
You got to be grateful.
Why?
Be grateful. Because I think when you're grateful, it gives you a humbleness, if you will, for lack of a better term, that will allow you to make something out of nothing, man. Allow you to, especially in America, man. I mean, I know it sounds whatever, you know, I'm a brother and all that. But listen, when you're grateful and you're humble and you just get along and you treat people right and you progress, man, some spirit or God, whatever you want to say, whatever you believe in, makes a way for you, man. It makes a way. We all struggling.
Have you found that the energy that you've thrown out there has come right back and opened up doors?
Took a while. It takes a while sometimes.
It does.
But you have to maintain yourself until you get there. And you will. Trust me, if you're strong, you will. You know, I see these high rising suicide, all these different things. Look, sustain your spirit because your time is coming, no matter who you are or what your background is. Because what happens is everything is 360. And you put out good energy, you're going to get it back. It may not be in the form that you originally thought it was going to be.
Right.
But it's going to be something to sustain you right when you need it.
That's a fact.
And that is key because that has been the challenges of even doing this new album and just transitioning, getting through the pandemic. We went through some rocky times. People passing, friends, all this stuff. At the end of the day, progress is the process. And if you do well and you extend and you're grateful, you'll see that 360 come. That will be better than the monetary gain, better than the currency you're gonna get. Not to say that's not important.
Right.
That's important, brothers. I'm not saying that. You need it. I need it. Listen, hook me up with my Skrilla.
We literally got to pay these bills.
Got to pay these bills. But there is something to be said about
things that are invaluable that can't be bought.
Social equity.
Yes.
You know, like a lot of people is on prestige and nowadays. Yeah, I'm stunting. I'm this and that. Okay. That's fine. Everybody want to do that. But when you uplifting and you dropping jewels to people and you selling inspiration, you selling hope.
Right.
At the end of the day, that spins around. So when you need that extra, there's some things that the monetary ain't gonna, the money ain't gonna help you with.
Right.
You need that energy of the upliftment. So the reason I say that one of the biggest things that I was taught is gratitude, is because once you show gratitude and you're a trendsetter, a pioneer, you know, or you're somebody that's already progressing, it's gonna give you the humble attitude you need that when you're around those opportunities, them doors just gonna open. It got nothing to do with money. They're gonna close. Yeah. You could have all the money and those doors will still be closed. Right. It's about access.
Yes, and that's what happened recently. And I keep talking about this, but I just came off the trip. Our friend that I had been talking to, that we just been cool for 20 years, and I was like, yeah, I'm going out there. He's like, I got a cousin that lives out there.
Nice.
The cousin was like, oh, I take you when we got out there.
Right. You had a tour guide.
Bruh. I had a friend who just happened to show us around. Like, tour guides are cool. We had a couple of actual tour guides we paid. But to have a friend, like if somebody was like, yo, Amon, I'm coming to New York. I ain't no tour guide, but I'm going to show you some shit. But you'll be like, damn, I had a real New York experience. We went to Bushwick, we went to LES, we did here, we did this, and we were just chilling. I'm not in the whole crowd like, 2 fingers, everybody sees me. I need everybody to listen. I don't got a microphone, but like, he was like, driving us over here, driving us over there. So I was having this experience where I was like, it was kind of touristy because he was taking us up. But then he was like, hey, my family wants to meet you guys. And I'm like, so I'm eating dinner with his, we're eating dinner with his family, which is even better, because I'm like, it's cool to see all the touristy shit, but like, to go to your neighborhood and kick it with your parents,
it's internal.
Like it's a great experience.
Great experience. That's like when I went to Vegas, I experienced almost the same thing because my best friend lived out there.
Gotcha.
When I went out there for 2 weeks, it was just we had the plugs of inside, and then we also went to the little Dreas Beach and the outside stuff. Yeah. So that's always great. God bless you, because It's the equity, and that is being cool. Yo, I got a friend as a friend, because yo, the world is a small place.
Very.
And when you look
and
at
your name precedes you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's one thing I've learned where it's just like, and I know I can't please everybody, but at the same time, it's like, I'm just gonna be who I am. When you so like the last time we had your energy is consistent.
Yeah.
I don't think I've changed up.
No,
so like,
no. Yeah,
so like,
it feels like the same thing.
Same thing, right? Like time is flying, and so it's like
crazy.
That equity, that social equity, it comes like you said when you most need it, and you know when you don't know you need it, and like it's crazy, especially living a life as a creative. Like I don't know what my days are gonna be. I don't even know what my years are gonna be. And so like. I get a lot of opportunities, and some things are just like I don't know what to do with that, you know.
Right.
But at the same time, it's all coming in love.
Yeah.
Like somebody was like, "Hey, are you a wedding photographer?" I'm not, but I'm glad that you asked. But I'm like because they want to look out, you know.
Right. Something to do.
But it's all good. So where can people find you? Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, no doubt. You can find me Jahan Nostra everywhere. Jahan Nostra on Instagram, Jahan Nostra on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? JahanNostra.com will plug you to all of my socials.
That's where you can get the gear and all that.
You can get the gear, all of that. Yeah. And on my Instagram, I have a shop, business page, verified Jahan Nostra page.
Yes.
Which says a lot.
It does.
Just happened this year.
Congrats.
And it's a great thing. And you Google Jahan Nostra. Also, the album Violet Skies will be available on March 7th.
Your birthday.
My birthday. That's next week. It's on Tuesday.
Okay.
And you know what? Even when you think about this, albums used to come out on Tuesdays.
Yep.
Those are the days. So I kind of set that up too. Yeah. Because it's almost like a feeling of that essence vibe.
That nod.
So it comes out on that Tuesday.
50 years.
Let's go. 50 years of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Violet is the color of creativity. Remain creative, remain productive. Progress is the process. New York said that y'all need to build on a regular basis. And we back again for the second time. Shout out to my brother Ahmad Focus.
Thank you, brother.
I appreciate you having me, man. And yo,
I'm grateful
we're in
that
the
we
heart
got
of
to
the
do
city.
this.
Yeah, me too. Great.
I'm glad the weather, everything worked out. I knew it would, you know, so it's like, but when you get back to the lab, send me pictures, send me whatever so I can just like build the new webpage and we'll get that out.
Okay, bet. We'll
I'm
do
out.
that. All right, baby.
Peace,
you should
brother.
get a picture.
Yeah.
You should get a picture.
Let's do it.
Yeah. We up, Cairo. We up. When you see me fly in my brand new ride, top down, I can touch the sky. We up now. And you look so good. Get money like I knew you would. Studying on them like I think I should. We up now. We up now. Yeah. When you see me fly in my brand new ride, top down, I can touch the sky. We up now. We up now. Yeah. And you look so good. Get money like I knew you would. We up. Studying on them like I think I should. We up now. We up now. For every ounce of pain that attacked my frame, I was able to read the maps like a Contra game. I call flame, but I'd rather have the spreader piece. Like meta piece, change names cause I spread the cheeks. I took Sam, made her home, Castlevania. I fly high on the rug through Arabia. I'm so blessed, I'm able to stay dressed and hop in the hot tub. I'm reaching the apex. I guess I'm recovering from miles of deep suffering. Hate I can't usher in. And your beauty is so smothering. And your body language is troubling. So I gotta keep it 100 in. And you gotta keep it 100 in. Fuck how many times you score. You can't come around no more. When you see me fly in my brand new ride, top down, I can touch the sky. We up now. We up now. And you look so good. Get money like I knew you would. Studying on them like I think I should. We up now. We up now. Yeah. When you see me fly in my brand new ride, top down, I can touch the sky. We up now. We up now. Yeah. And you look so good. Getting money like I knew you would. Studying on them like I think I should. We up now. We up now. We up. Try your luck. We get buck. Too lit and I'm hit. What's in your cup? Feet fresh, showing my Ryan Seacrest. Heat less, shorty fly and meatless. Cairo turned up the palm reading. Nostra touched the souls of a heathen. This past year with myself competing, from Tim boots to the khaki crescents. We lost Kobe and Nip, still holy and fit. Going OD we lit, ceremony a drip. In my cousin's caravan and we killing Christ. When I see it I just take it, no cover price. And we looking good, cause we up now. Concrete now, cause we stuck now. All you niggas capping, I took a different route. I'm in my bucket seats, about to drive around. When you see me fly, in my brand new ride, top down, I can touch the sky. We up now, and you look so good. Get money like I knew you would. Studying on them like I think I should. We up now, yeah. When you see me fly, in my brand new ride, top down, I can touch the sky. We up now, yeah. And you look so good. Getting money like I knew you would. Studying on them like I think I should. We up now. Just a crowd that I love, got it out the mud. From the dirt to the dove, got a couple of clean whips, clear my mind, seen trips. Phoenix, middle council, Kleenex. Him and hers negotiate new terms. George Burns to showbiz and new germs. Selfish, I keep the eye on iPhone. Ideas is in sync when I'm alone. In my garments, all hell Prince Hakeem. I'm just a target, a dollar and a dream. I'm not the lotto on Popo, scoop hunt like gelato. Bucket seats, no Tahoe, running over the potholes. And it's up like my old projects. That's up, baby, put in context. Produce cause I'm so fresh. While I'm here, player, I invest. When you see me fly, in my brand new ride, top down, I can touch the sky.